Babe, am I confessing this now? So I did it, because like my friend and mentor Les Brown says, I couldn't afford it, but I couldn't afford not to. And I say those words, I'm gonna step back. My friend and mentor, Les Brown. Just the fact that those words can come out of my mouth right now, they're dear, dear friends. I can call Ona right now on my cell phone. I can call several people because my life has changed. I signed up for all these crazy, crazy workshops, and I ended up with a virtual assistant. Now I dabble in real estate, and I got all this stuff going on that I never expected to have going on. And I bought a ticket to a conference in Florida. It was a Master the Mic conference with Les Brown.
Yeah. So Les Brown at that event sold a product called Master the Mic, which was a workshop
and I bought it.
Florida.
Thank you, Capital One at the time, because I was going to make it happen. I didn't care what I had to do. So I didn't even know that the conference was in Florida. So imagine my husband's surprise when I was like, I spent all this money, now I'm going to Florida. So I go to Florida, and it was this Master the Mic conference, so it was just to learn how to become a better speaker. And I thought, hey, I can utilize that. So I go there, and I find myself in a room, and I become very vulnerable, because the people in this room and the environment that people like Andy and Les's family created was a safe environment for me. And I ended up on that stage telling my life story to complete strangers, things I had never told to anybody. I'm highly educated. I have, a great resources and a great support system, but I had never told anybody that I had ran for Miss Colorado, that I had a child when I was 17 years old that I carried for 9 months, and he died the day that he was born. I never told a soul. I lived with that grief for 23 years. Because I never grieved, I found myself in a whirlwind of bad decisions. I ended up in prison where I gave birth to my daughter, shackled to a bed. Almost unreal when people heard my story. And that's when Les Brown said, hold up. He sat up and he said, what did you say? You have a story. And I never realized how much I could help people by just telling my story. After that conference, people came up to me, and I heard, I touched so many different people in so many different ways, but mostly I had touched myself. So I left that conference sharing stories that I had never shared with anybody ever. And I came home with a book deal, and I was so excited, and the book deal went just awry. I had a lot of problems. My publisher was in London, and then I dropped that book deal. I had a large publishing company take on my book, and then I found out that it was such a great story, they wanted to take 65% of my sales and 100% of my story. And I refused it. I refused to do that. So we handed the money back, and I said, I'm resourceful, I know a lot of people, I'm an intelligent woman. So I went back home, and I figured it out, and so I became a book publisher last year, and I published my own book under Legacy Therapy Publishing. This year, I have 15 authors, women authors, because that was my niche, find my niche. So I encourage and I edify women to become powerful women, F-U-L-L, to remain full in their lives so that they can continue to help others. So I became a book publisher, and from my book launch, I actually developed a online webinar and a workshop where women can go online and have success coaching. So I teach them how to use their past for their purpose and have a profit.
What is your vision for the world?
My vision for the world is to help people to heal. There's so many things that people don't talk about, won't talk about. It's not okay to talk about. It is okay to talk about those things. It's okay because you never know who you're going to help from your story. And it's important that people realize that. And so the difference between, I was talking to Michael Butler, who I adore. This is the first chance that we got to talk. And the difference between his publishing and my publishing is that my goal is to have my authors find healing as they're writing their book. And I turn it back over to them because I want them to have 100% of their profit. So I just want to help them heal. I'm not in that business to to make a profit. Because the business I am in is my Facebook community group where I sell subscription memberships. That's my,
I'm still getting money, don't get it twisted.
I'm still going. So I created a webinar, I created a workshop, I do one-on-one success coaching.
Now, let me ask you this, before the July event, that event that we held last July, and we held it at Anaheim. Before that event, were you doing any of this?
None at all. I didn't even know what webinar was, if you want to know the truth.
So do you find it to be true that the opportunity is in the show?
The opportunity is absolutely in the show. In fact, I even paid an extra $100 to upgrade to the front row.
Proximity is?
So in addition to, I had already been successful, and so I dabbled in real estate, and then I had child care investments, and now I'm working for the airline, and now I'm doing webinar, and I have a Facebook community group called the Powerful Women Community, where it's a paid membership page. I have members today. I had 14 members sign up today, and they pay anywhere from $9 a month to $10,000 a month. Last week, I was at a conference, and I'm talking to a marketing representative, and she says, "Oh, powerful women. Well, how powerful can it be? You only have 49 followers." And I said, "Honey, my 49 followers, 50% of them are millionaires." That's the number I'm looking at.
There you go.
Does anyone in the audience have questions for any of the presenters? Yes.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, bro, I kept on looking at you, so
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
I kept on looking at him too, man. I said 46, what you buying, man?
Yeah,
What kind of lotion you using?
so I met him like 4 years ago at Lotus Group Real Estate.
Lotus Group,
And he talked
Is that
about,
Downey?
Edwin Acevedo and Jose Tapatio.
so you talked about affirmations and how they don't work, and then you talked about, you did
Yeah.
that. And it was true, I practiced it, and then a breakthrough that I had that day was with NLP, how a lot of us, and me and myself, I was putting all these vision boards, but the number one mistake I was doing, I wasn't putting my image on it,
Yeah.
so my brain wasn't like transitioning it. And then all my life up until I was 24 at the time, I'm 29 now, it was like, hey, it's possible for everybody, but not me. So I'm ready to have another breakthrough moment where
Can I take 30 seconds for the whole room? This is huge, huge. Okay, who's using, I'll be really quick, who's using affirmations? Okay. Why do we create an affirmation typically, because I want to respect the time. Rhetorical question, we create affirmations because we need to affirm something. Because if we 100% believed it, we won't need the affirmation. Just already know. So we're putting a thing of, I am great, I'm gonna be, and you say this to yourself again and again. But then when you talk about the seed of the idea of becoming that, the purpose of you declaring that is because you don't believe it and you're hoping to affirm that it's gonna be true. So in the DNA of the goal is already self-doubt. It's already embedded in the DNA of the vision board or the goal is I doubt it, and so that's why I'm going to state it again and again and hopefully believe it, but it never happens. Why? Because if you plant a seed in the ground, and in that seed it's 50% doubt, 50% certainty, and you go back and you come back and you water it, you go back and come back, water it, months and months later it doesn't break through the ground, and you're wondering why it didn't break through the ground. You dig up that seed, you open it up, oh my gosh, I thought a gopher ate it, but it's still here, and you open it up, you see 50% certainty, 50% doubt. Which means you're repeating the same damn thing. So what we do is, when you affirm a goal, you have to remove all self-doubt first. Which is a limiting belief, which is you had a limiting belief that you couldn't. So that's why affirmations work. When you already know you're going to do it, then you didn't need the affirmation. We all get to remove our self-doubt before we install a goal in the future. Because if you don't remove the self-doubt before you install a goal in the future, you're carrying the doubt with you into the future.
Yes.
And you're pushing all the opportunities and people away.
Ashe.
Huh?
I said Ashe.
Yes.
Let's give it up for these guys.
Thank you.